Welcome. Alone was released in 2020 and was directed by Jack Hyams. It stars Jules Wilcox and is about a young woman who is being stalked by a mysterious man. So I remember watching the trailer for this movie when it was just around coming out, and I was really interested in it, and I thought it looked pretty decent compared to some other horror movies that were coming out at the same time. So I finally watched it with my friend Angie, and it was pretty good. I do have my complaints and stuff with it, but it's not a bad movie. I think Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 95%, and audiences were like, wow, this does not deserve a 95%, this was crap. And I find myself in the middle ground between the two. I definitely agree that 95% is way too high for this movie, but the audience score is 56%, which I really don't agree with. I don't think it deserves a 56%. I kind of go around probably... Well, let's do the review first, and then you can find out what my score is going to be. So first, I want to start out with a con. This movie decides to split itself up in parts, and it'll have like a title sequence for each part that it's being split into, and I was not for it. I think it revealed a little bit too much. There was no point for it. It was kind of stupid in a way, and it would be like these really general titles like The Road, The River, The Clear. I think The Clearing is one of them. Stupid things like that, I was just not for. I remember when I saw the first one being The Road, I was like, oh, that's weird. Maybe the movie was called The Road. And Angie was like, no, that's just something that they do throughout the movie. And I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, firstly, that is a con to me. I did not like it. I did not think it added anything. If anything, it added more time to the movie. So moving away from those weird little title sequences into each part, I think that The Road, which is the first part of the movie, is the best. It has the most suspense. It has you on the edge of your seat the most. I thought it was the most gripping. There was a lot of development that was there. That was my favorite part. It was a little bit slower compared to other parts, but I didn't mind it because we were getting a lot of backstory with our main character, Jessica, which I really liked. Another pro I have with this movie is the effects. I don't want to spoil anything because, I want you to go into the movie if you decide to watch it and can experience it for yourself, but when there are blood and gore effects used in the movie, they are very good, and I really like them. It never looked really cheesy or anything like that. There's one specific moment, I think it's in this either second, third, fourth, fifth. I'm trying not to spoil it. Somewhere in there, or maybe the first, there's a very, very nasty effect that is used, and it is done very well, and I was very appreciative of it. So that I liked. Talking about cons now, I've already talked about the weird title sequences, but another con I had was the movie tried to outdo itself. It felt like in each part and tried to up the ante a little bit, and I wasn't for it because it got to a point where, to me, it started to get unrealistic. The first part of this movie, The Road, is just based within realism, and I'm kind of saying that very loosely because there's a lot of stuff that the movie asks you to accept, like how does this mysterious man kind of always know where this woman is, and it's this type of movie, so you kind of have to accept it. Although I didn't always accept it, but that was based in realism. As the movie goes on, some weird things start to happen, and it gets to a point where it's like, I can't accept this anymore. I don't want to get into spoilers, and I know I keep on saying that, but I don't know the title of this part, but our dude just becomes like a pro sniper in FaZe Clan out of nowhere. So that I was not for. There's a lot of moments like that throughout this movie where I can't even explain it. It just becomes so unrealistic, and I did not like that when the movie tries to base itself in realism. I do want to mention one more pro that I have of this movie, which is our main character, played by Jules Wilcox. She is fantastic throughout this movie. She has one really cheesy line where she's like, "No!" That was stupid. But other than that, she was fantastic, and I loved her character development throughout the whole movie. They really, really focus in on her, and they do a great job of developing her character, which was not something that I expected to happen. Overall, I'm going to give this movie a 6.75 out of 10, and I do recommend it. There are a lot of moments that are creepy that will get you on the edge of your seat, but it starts to get a little bit unrealistic, so if you're not for that, then don't watch this movie. I think the best example I could make to describe this movie is it feels like a better version of a Lifetime movie, like with a killer and stuff like that. That's what this movie feels like. Yeah, it feels like a better Lifetime movie. So thank you everyone for watching this review, and be on the lookout for more reviews and for the podcast. We have a great episode that's going to be coming up, so be on the lookout for that. But let's flash forward to the next review.